So before moving on to the first speaker's talk, we would like to have a 1-minute short introduction from each YWP chapter who made this webinar happen. So could you start it from YWP Spain, Rosario?
Yes, let me share my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm Rosario now. I'm the relationships, the international relationships and sustainability manager of Young Water Professional in Spain. And yeah, and I would like to present our network to all of you. Okay. We are more than 550 members. We are organized in different areas or departments. And we can say that we have been awarded in 2020 by IAGUA as the best association. And also the International Cultural Association awarded us as the chapter of the year 2024 just this last August. This was because all of the activities that we had been performing in 2023, like different activities of networking, like sports activities, also all of our webinar, water meetings, different tasks of divulgation and awareness through videos, through infographics, and also our international participation in different conferences, and also in different congress. Also, we have been doing different collaborations with other universities, companies, and research centers. And here also we have also other international collaborations with other Ibero-American chapters. And in the case of the 2023, we had 3 different webinars. In this year, we had also 2. And also other of our activities that are maybe the most important ones for the network are the national conferences. We had been already in 3 different ones. And next month we will have the Bilbao conference at the end of October. And yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Then next is YWP Space Sweden.
Yes, hi everyone. Let me share my screen. There we go. So my name is Christopher Berf. I'm an industrial PhD student at the RISE Research Institute of Sweden, and I am chair of YWP Sweden. So I'll tell you a few things about our network and give a short introduction here. So we officially started in April 2021, so a few years old now. We wanted to create this network for young people in the water industry in Sweden, and we felt that this international connection that you get through IWA was something that we really wanted to bring here. And we started with a steering committee of 6 members. We are currently trying to expand that because the network is growing and we feel the need to be more people. So we're working on getting, for among other things, to regional representatives in this group, and also expand a bit more. And what have we been doing these years since we started? So we've been focusing a lot on online events, and some also starting to get some in-person events. So focused on mentoring, for example, short mentoring session, inviting people to describe their career, professional development, so lots of those types of events. We're also working with profiling, so profiling YWPs in Sweden and giving them a a stage, so to say. We also have a specific goal on working on industry or getting more research to practice. So we have a few events on that topic. And then we also participated in organizing this YWP European conference, which took place in June this year. And we are working on local events as well, such as afterworks and such, and site visits. And we also started last year with bringing some regional groups. So currently I have two, one in the Stockholm-Uppsala region of Sweden and one in the Gothenburg region. And we are working or planning for two more, at least now. And yeah, since we're only a few years old, we'll also start having elections for the steering committee this year. And if you want to find out more, you can follow us on our LinkedIn page, which you will find if you search for this. With that, I say thank you very much.
Thank you, Christopher. So the next introduction is from YWP Nigeria.
All right. Evening from Nigeria. Greetings from Nigeria, everyone. My name is Ikechukwu Okuzu, and I'm excited to introduce the International Water Association, the Young Water Professionals Nigerian chapter. So we got established in 2018, as 2018, and our chapter has grown into a dynamic network of 106 passionate members committed to driving innovation and sustainable solution in the water sector in Nigeria. So as part of the global IWA community, we focus on capacity building, professional development, promoting collaborations among the young water professionals in Nigeria. And, together we are shaping the future of water, one initiative at a time. So, and yeah, currently we're steering committee of 7 and looking forward for, expansion. And also we have some regional groups currently because Nigeria is kind of a very, very big country, so we have over 36 states here. So although at the moment, we've not really had, successfully created the group in various states, but this is something we are, looking forward doing soon. So in each of the states of the 36 states of Nigeria, we're looking forward to have a regional a state group, where we can reach out to the grassroots. Yeah. So yeah, so thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to an insightful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ikechukwu. So let's move on to the first speaker's talk. And our first speaker is Sara from YWP Spain. Sara is an assistant professor and a PhD student in agroforestry engineering at the Polytechnic University of Madrid. Sara has a diverse experience as a technician of hydrological planning, consultant for water and sanitation, and also she worked in different international projects, which made her work location worldwide. Sara, we look forward to listening to your experiences and perspectives. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Makoto. Let me share my screen. 1 second. Okay, in this one. So everyone can see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, sorry for my voice. I hope you can all understand me pretty well. So we'll start. Thank you everyone for joining today. I'm really happy to see that there is a lot of people interested on this webinar. My name is Sara Esperanza Matendo, and today I will be explaining a bit about my professional journey, looking to see if it can help anyone, and also sharing how is the water sector perspective is working in Spain. So I want to start this talking about the university, because personally I think it's where actually we start our pre-professional journey. So I want to share this in case that anyone is thinking to going back to the university to maybe to get a postgraduate course or a master's, or maybe these ideas or my experience maybe could help any of you regarding the water sector. So for me, the university, as Makoto said, I did my bachelor in agroenvironmental engineer at the Technical University of Madrid, and since I was in this stage of my life, I was really interested in cooperation and development projects. So I started to see how can I introduce myself into this field. So I started talking with a lot of people, professors, and see what's actually they are doing in this field, and see how can I myself learn and getting knowledge about everything regarding what means cooperation and development. So I think it's very, very important to every student, at least at the beginning, to be able to try to take as many opportunities that university gives to you. For example, in my case, I did an Erasmus program in Prague, where it actually helped me a lot to improve my English. That's nowadays for any professional job, in any job, it's kind of mandatory thing. And I managed, at least in my university, there is travel grants where I got one to do my bachelor thesis in Colombia in the field of cooperation and development. And in that moment, I was working in solar panels. That is not related with water, but it was my first experience in this field. So let's see if I can move to the next. Okay, so after my bachelor, I got my first experience as a phytosanitary technician, and it was kind of 6-month job. And after this, I got selected for a traineeship at the Joint Research Center of the European Commission. Again, it wasn't related with water, but the experience there opened me the possibility that I really like to work in international organization, in international environments. My supervisor, that I was very lucky, she actually encouraged me to go and do a PhD. But by that moment, it wasn't like an opportunity of a job path that I could follow. So knowing this, that maybe a PhD could be an option, and I really was interested in cooperation development, and I knew that I wanted to do water and resource management. I went back to university and I pursued my master's in hydrology and water resource management. And here I want to result that is really important that you actually focus on your objectives, so you get formation of what you actually want to do specifically. In my case was hydrology, so if there is any other field in the hydrology that you actually want to be specific, a master's will always help you to get more chances in work on this area. So at the end of this master's, when I joined in 2020 during the pandemic, the Young Water Professional Spain, and I started to see what option I had into my field, in the water field, to work once I just finished, right, my master's. So even that the idea of PhD cooperation was still there, it's actually helped me a lot to see what other colleagues in Spain were working. So during the masters, I started to work in companies directly related with water. So for example, this Grupo Tecopi, that was my first experience. I was a trainee and I was working with hydrology modeling, flooding modeling, also IT. Then I joined, I had another experience. I joined the Incibe company, where I was actually working in what I was looking for, right? The cooperation and development in water. So my job here was basically do consultants for the Spanish Agency of Cooperation, for the Inter-American Development Bank, where we were trying to see how they implement the water resource management in all their projects around Latin America. So after this, I joined a big company here in Spain as a hydrology technician, and the idea of the PhD was still there. So I had the opportunity to go back to the university at the Technical University of Madrid, where I'm currently working right now as a assistant professor and also as a PhD candidate already for 3 years. And personally, for me, the university I consider that it's amazing because it's gives you many, many opportunities. For me, I had the opportunity to work with many countries, Italy, Kenya, Uganda. I'm currently doing a project also in South Tome, United States. I increase my networking in the fields where I want to focus. That is my PhD topic, basically researching about how can we actually improve soil salinity through the irrigation, right? Using water, taking care of many different factors in this area. Some of the pictures that you can see that's of the projects, international project mainly in Africa, where I was collaborating through my PhD, but also as an assistant professor. And then just to finalize, I would like to talk about how is the water sector in Spain. So what can you actually do when you, I don't know, finish your bachelor and you want to focus? You want to do a water career, so you actually can do. You can become an operator or a technician, working as a plant operator in drinking water services, wastewater treatment plants, or maintenance technician. You can also work as a computer engineer and many other digitalization profiles. And you can also become an R&D technician after a PhD. In my case, that I'm planning to finish my PhD next year, I've seen like my professional journey is open me the opportunity to work in an international organization as the World Bank. You can go to the European Commission. You can work for the OECD. So there is a lot of international organization that you can join, not only as a technician, but as an expert. So I don't only, if you want, you have questions or you want to go more in details in something, please feel free to make any question in the chat. And thank you very much. I hope I was on time.
Yes, you are. Thank you so much, Sara. That was a great first talk. And as Sara said, you are always welcome to send your questions to the chat function on the screen. But now we're gonna move on to the next speaker from YWP Spain is Miriam. And Miriam Miriam is no worries. Miriam is the director of water and wastewater design at the engineering consultancy Sweco in Stockholm. With a passion for tackling the complex wastewater challenges, Miriam works on both national and international projects that push the boundaries of water and sanitation solutions. So we are excited to hear more about your journey and insights. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I got super pressured when hearing your great speech, Sara. So I hope I can do almost as good as you did. But I also recognized a lot of what you said, just saying that a lot of things starting from university. So obviously there might be a lot of listeners here today that is at university today or any type of education, which is me in the lower right section there. I was a lost student. I had just applied for engineering school with no clue what I would be when I grow up. Left corner is me working for the International Committee of the Red Cross as an international delegate, running a variety of different projects. But the journey is not super straightforward always, and it starts somewhere and it ends somewhere else. and I hope I can share some of my views. But thanks you also so much, Makoto and the others, for inviting me here today. Currently, it sounds fancy, but I'm managing a department designing water and wastewater infrastructure, both in Sweden and internationally. I'm also a project manager for the mega projects. So as soon as you have a large scale infrastructure, obviously the project size and the investments are increasing. So I do a variety of different things.
Sorry, Miriam, for the interruption. I think we might not see the slide. We see the slide when you open in the PowerPoint, but not it's including others like functions, and maybe you are changing the slide now, but we didn't see the change.
That was sad.
Maybe we can try it again.
Try again. Do you see better now?
Not yet. Oh, yeah.
We see your shared screen, and but we see this webinar screen of you.
Yeah, you should see my presentation because it's on that. Maybe you can share then, Makoto, if something is not working properly.
Yeah,
I
maybe
can
Rosalie.
share.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that one.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah, you can move to the third slide there.
Yes.
So currently I'm working at Sweco, which is an engineering and architectural firm, but you could be an engineer, but there's also a lot of different connections, obviously, from the environmental side, finance side, and all the other aspects of water. If you press to the next slide, next again. Yeah, for those who are interested of numbers, I heard there was a lot of PhD students here. You can just look into this later. But just to say that Sweco is, I think one part of attacking the water sector could be from the private side as well, where we do a lot of different activities within the water sector. So we're moving ahead. And we're moving ahead. Yes, so this is my dream coming true. Because if you want to see the fancy version of my CV, you can go into my LinkedIn page, because there you have a true version. I'm not lying, but it's obviously the glorified version. But my career started with a lot of small and random part-time jobs. I applied to my local supermarket 10 times, and I got rejected 10 times. I also applied for the amusement park numbers of times and never got the job. I was doing the stable, like horse shit management. So water and wastewater's career started early. But just to say that we all start somewhere, and don't underestimate your work because they will teach you other skills. So a lot of my project management skills that I'm doing today inside the water sector actually started in the stable, trying to manage 20 horses. But after that, I realized if I wanted to do maybe a little bit something more sophisticated, maybe I should do a degree. So I decided to do a bachelor degree within environmental energy management, which mostly focus on renewable energy systems. So it's a base of a mechanical engineering program, which for those of you who might study the same knows that this has nothing to do with water. And still here I am. After my bachelor's degrees, I got a bit lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I wanted to get some real hands-on practical experience, which is really an advice. Try to get as many internships as you can. If you look at my LinkedIn page, obviously I was working with the EU-funded project, which I did. But the real story behind my first internship was that actually it was funded project from the Swedish Development Agency who are trying to get academic people out in the development sector. But the title of it was Youth Empowerment. So there was the super cool youth club in Malawi that wanted to have an intern to kind of see if they could organize their, I don't know, somehow if they could scale up their activities. And I was like, yeah, let's go. What I didn't know when I applied and when I got the internship was that they also had a sister company working with water and wastewater. So the start was not the water and wastewater work I was doing, it was something else. So mingling, networking, and trying to take a chance on something that might lead to something different is also strong advice. Don't be too picky. Jump on all the opportunities that you get. So I spent a year in Malawi on an EU-funded project where we tried to restore old German shitty engineering to something that was actually functioning. Just saying that it's typically consultancy firm as myself, Sweco, that will trying to design something in a country they have never been to. So we can talk more in detail about that another time. Then I went back to my master's degree, focusing on renewable energy again, small-scale hydropower. Not working with anything of that today, but it was also giving myself my first job, which was in academia. Woohoo! A lot of PhD students here. And lucky you, I'm not your colleague today because I was a shitty researcher. I was working on a department on applied science, so it's really taking research into practice. But actually what you do at the research institute is that you write articles, and I hate writing, and I'm not accurate at all. I like when things go fast. Research is not fast. So it was lovely 1.5 years. I got amazing colleagues. A big shout out to everyone at Evag and Sandvik. They're doing an amazing job, but I'm happy I'm not a researcher anymore. So then I joined instead the humanitarian sector because one of our collaboration partners at the research institute was the Red Cross. So I joined the International Committee of the Red Cross then. First, I did a small emergency response in Bangladesh, and then I got a full-time contract staying there. And we will come back to those, some of those things later. But just to say that in the humanitarian sector, you have a whole range of different topics you could work on water and sanitation. And it's such a great experience. Oh, someone from Bangladesh, great. I spent 2 years there. It was an amazing experience. After that, I joined the dark side, as we would have said as humanitarians. So I joined the private sector, first on the contractor side. And why I speak more about that than the company itself is because if you want to work with construction processes, so even if you're building a pumping station, a wastewater treatment plant, water treatment plant, if you're working on the contractor side, it's really mostly focusing on work safety, concrete, screws, bolt sizes, and maybe that wasn't really for me either. I think I'm more of a big picture, running fast forward type of person. So finally, I ended up where I feel most at home at a consultancy firm, Sweco, where I am now, with still having my international contract with the Red Cross. So I still go on emergency missions with them or short-term deployments. So I get the best out of two worlds. And also running currently a project in Ukraine for Sweco as well. We can move forward. My time is also running past, but I just have a few stories. So first of all, at the moment, one of my key projects I'm running here in Sweden is the restoration or upgrading of one of Sweden's biggest wastewater treatment plants. We want to upgrade from 600,000 to 900,000 people equivalents, so it's connected to the wastewater treatment plant. And with Sweco is both running the machinery design, process design, and the design management and coordination. So there is 50 plus people and I who try to serve the client. We have a very narrow scope and it's a very precise assignment. So typically in consultant, you get assigned a precise task to do. If you then move forward to another example from my humanitarian context, is during COVID, we did a lot of COVID response. I apologize for my spelling mistake for those of you who notice stuff like that. Also typically me to not spell check. In the humanitarian sector, you have a larger scope. You're also trying to, together with the people you're trying to collaborate with or trying to serve, it's also to try to see what they actually need. So in a COVID response, we did a lot of medical waste management and renovation of the district's hospitals or upgrading of the hospitals. So it was hospital management. This is the same hospital before and after, and as you can figure it out, it was very little engineering and a lot of other aspects to consider. Politics, health aspects, we collaborated a lot with the health team, and you get to learn a lot of other things than pure engineering, potentially. And my last example, for the next slide. Yeah, for those of you in Bangladesh, you might even know where I am. So this is one of the biggest refugee camps in the world, where 1 million people arrived at in a jungle in the period of 3 months. This is still just the same needs. So even if you are working with a sophisticated wastewater treatment plant, or if you're trying to do a temporary setup in a refugee camp, you still have the same processes. You just have different contexts and different challenges. So yeah, and then the last slide. And for those of you who like numbers and accuracy, this is a year old, so don't get stuck up on the numbers, but the trends are the same. The needs in water, sanitation, and hygiene in this case is huge, and we are far behind. So to say that you have chosen the right career if you choose water and sanitation is really a thing. In Sweden, for example, the market for water and wastewater engineers, we could double the amount that we have today. I'm trying to recruit minimum 10 to 15 people to my department, and it's very difficult to do so if you're not looking at newly graduated. So Sweden and globally, the needs are huge, and it's more about how we mobilize and how quickly we can do so. So if you're not already in the water sector, convert yourself and join the club. Thank you, and ask the questions later, and then we talk more.
Thank you so much, Miriam. That was really relatable and encouraging. But yeah, so we're gonna have the Q&A in the end. So we're gonna move on to the third speaker from Nigeria. We have Cynthia here. Cynthia is a PhD student in water resources and environmental engineering at Ahmadu Bello University. Her research focuses on sustainable development and water treatment. She is also an active volunteer with the Center of Water and Environmental Development, working on WASH initiatives in her community. Cynthia, we cannot wait to learn more from your experiences. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Makoto. And thank you to Sara and Miriam. You've said it all. Very wonderful presentations. So it's very enlightening. So quickly, my name is Cynthia. I am a young water professional from Nigeria. And like Makoto said, also a research student at the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria. I am passionate about developing sustainable and climate smart solutions to water challenges, not just in my community, but also in Nigeria, in Africa, and the world at large. So as a child, I witnessed my community struggle with water scarcity, and that was when my journey began. Currently, my team and I are working on the production of biomaterials from waste renewable sources to provide solutions that extend our water resources, reduces waste, and promotes circular economy. In 2022, we won the maiden edition of the Student Innovation Research Award, which was taken at the Gambia. Beyond the financial benefits that came with winning that award, it meant that our work had the potential for the future and that we were making a sustainable impact in our community. So that really meant a lot to us. So I think the theme for this webinar is apt and timely in the sense that it provides a platform for young water professionals from different parts of the world to share their ideas and to discuss about a world of opportunities in the water sector. With almost half a decade in the water sector, I have learned that some of the biggest challenges often hide the greatest opportunities. And that's why today I'll quickly be speaking on navigating challenges and opportunities in the water sector by looking beyond our local environments and hopefully how we can work together to achieve a sustainable future for all. Next slide, please. Thank you. We all know that the water sector is on the cusp of a revolution, and understanding the shifts can make all the difference in our impact as young water professionals. This water sector plays a crucial role in the development of any society, and it also offers global potential for innovation, for research and impact. Of course, in today's interconnected world, it is therefore essential to look beyond our immediate environment to identify and to seize opportunities. Next slide, please. So over the past several decades, there has been a steady increase in the demand for potable water resources globally as a result of the steady population increase, climate change, urbanization, industrialization, and energy consumption. The list is endless. Water quality and quantity are one of the main challenges we face globally, and this has placed tremendous pressure on our water resources. I love statistics, so I'm going to mention some. According to World Health Organization, it's estimated that by 2050, half of the world's population, that's approximately 4 billion people, reside in areas with water scarcity, and the global water demand is projected to rise by 25%. For these reasons, the World Economic Forum in 2022 ranked the water crisis as one of the main environmental risks worldwide. Of course, we all know that the water crisis is worsening, but there is another crisis, and that's a shortage of water professionals. That's why I was like, okay, this webinar is apt and timely. The loss of intellectual assets is a threat to effective water management, particularly in water scarce areas. There's therefore a need for more water professionals who can operate across boundaries and disciplines to innovate, collaborate, and lead to solve water issues. I believe that by expanding our horizons beyond our local environment, young water professionals can tap into resources, technologies, and partnerships that can lead to transformative change. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here are some of the opportunities that we can harness as young water professionals. I focused on 4 key areas. That's the research and academia, networking and collaboration, emerging opportunities, and innovation. So for research and academia, young water professionals can harness opportunities in research and academia because research serves as a backbone for innovation in the water sector. It also leads to new insights and contributes to new methodologies. Being in the research and academia in the past few years have expanded my horizons beyond what I can ever imagine. I've been able to collaborate with other researchers in Benin Republic and in Tanzania on innovation and durable materials and sustainable construction materials, which I collaborated with some other researchers from Tanzania. So it also drives policy change, leading to improved regulation and management strategies. I believe young water professionals can contribute to knowledge by researching and publishing their findings, thereby disseminating knowledge globally, influencing policies and practice across the globe. Again, collaborations across different sections and sectors can lead to innovative solutions. I believe that young water professionals can also connect with other senior water professionals and academic experts through international organizations like the International Water Association, World Youth Parliament for Water, and other associations, because IWA provides a platform to share ideas and collaborate with one another to solve global water issues. Again, as a young water professional, joining the International Water Association Specialist Group is a game changer. I believe that every young water professional should be a part of this specialist groups. These groups offers a platform to connect with global experts. It enhances our knowledge and then it boosts our confidence. By engaging with these groups and thought leaders, I believe that we will stay updated on the latest trends and will also develop our skills to tackle complex water challenges. Again, it also provides a platform for mentorship that can help us navigate our professional group. So yeah, emerging opportunities, I believe that opportunities like smart water technologies such as AI, the machine learning, Internet of Things, of IoT, can be employed to water distributions or leakages. It can also be used to check contamination in real time. It can also be used to optimize and predict process parameters that improve the yield of any product or service. So I believe that young water professionals can now be thinking along this line to make all the difference in the water sector. Again, innovations. Young water professionals can seek opportunities in diverse innovations like advanced filtration systems, such as maybe membrane technology or nanotechnology, which can be used for removal of contaminants and purification of water. They can also invest in projects that promote circular economy and sustainability. Like I mentioned earlier, we are currently working on producing biomembranes, which we got from other renewable sources like agricultural waste, food waste, plastics, and then we are converting this product to membranes which can use for water filtration. Next slide, please. Okay, so what's the way forward for young water professionals? I think young water professionals should invest in continuous learning. They should explore opportunities and engage with academia. They should stay updated on latest research, trends, and developments in the water sector. They should also pursue mentorships and professional development. They can collaborate with international organizations and publishing research, like I mentioned earlier, Iowa specialist groups, the World Youth Parliament for Water. There are a lot of international organizations. Again, they can explore new technologies and innovations in water management, treatment, and reuse. That can also help them promote circular economy. And then we should be proactive in addressing water challenges, both locally and globally. And then we can do that by engaging with policymakers. We can advocate for water issues. We can also collaborate with local communities and involve them in decision making and ensure inclusive solutions. So in conclusion, I believe that young water professionals, I believe that we need to be trained to take up leadership roles. One thing that young water professionals should be engaged in right now is leadership. We should be teaching ourselves to take up space in the society. Nothing is as important as taking up space. And then the last slide is just a quote. So the future of water is in our hands, and with research and innovation, we can create a sustainable water future for all. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So nice. You got many reactions from the audiences.
Thank you.
Really cool. Oh, we are actually running out of the time, but we can still have probably a short Q&A session. So please write in the chat or raise your hand or just speak up if you have any questions. I think I see one question to Felipe in the chat. Of the 4 different activities you mentioned, which you would say, in your perspective, is the most challenging or the one that YWP are more lacking of?
Yeah, it's very difficult to answer. If I take either technical support or research innovation, they are very difficult in their own way. The technical support is very urgent, so you feel the pressure because, for example, at some time I was working with a plant we used to operate in Hong Kong, and the plant was not working. So by each day the plant was not working, the pile of trash is being accumulated, and this operational pressure is difficult to handle. And the research innovation side, you don't have this pressure. Usually the deadlines, they are easy to postpone because it depends on you and the things the way it works in research. But what is more difficult sometimes is to find this long-term motivation, because most of the ideas and innovations, this is the way it works, they will not come into reality. Maybe 1 out of 10 or 20 will be deployed at some point. So for me, the difficulty of research innovation is doing something you are not sure is going to be deployed at some time, being interested by the details, and succeeding, which is another case for companies, succeeding to demonstrate that you are bringing value, even if your research will not be useful maybe. So different pressure, different difficulty, and the one that young water professionals are more lacking of. I don't know if my answer is good to answer the second one, but yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah, thank you, Felipe. I guess it's also indeed up to our position or what we are doing now. Even among YWPs, I think we are in a different field or different sector or like working position, I mean. Another question.
Yeah.
Question to all of your speakers. Any tips for getting into the water sector internationally? Nationally, it is no problem, but getting abroad after a master's degree as a graduate is difficult at the moment, it seems. I'm not sure where this participants are from, but maybe we can hear from all of you.
From Germany,
Okay.
With environmental engineering background.
Oh, thank you for joining. Shall we go from Miriam?
Yeah, I think it's just to confirm that it is difficult to get out there. And there's, I know both UN and John Wash Jobs
Just
has
was.
done some. Thank you. But they have done a compilation both to summarize the positions that are out, but also the internships that are out. So I think that's like kind of they're trying to make it easier, but both because of the funding decrease coming from many of the big funding countries to development and humanitarian sectors, the positions are also getting less, and especially if you don't have experience. So people with 10 years plus have it easier than the newcomers. But I think also internships, if you were from Germany, you should also look into the German funding programs, and they might also have internships for young professional, and also the UN's junior professional officer, the GPO positions are even if it's very competitive. But if you don't apply, you don't get it for sure. So at least make an attempt.
I would like to add something. I will also recommend you to apply as many internship as possible, as Miriam says, because it's a way to get in the company most of the times. Also try to see, depending on what you actually want to do, which company you actually want to get in, you can actually check what's the people that are working in this company have done before, to have an idea of how can you actually improve your CV. And also I will recommend to maybe do some courses, small on free courses online, specifically in the kind of job that you are looking for, to I don't know, try to improve the way that's maybe recruiter check your CV. Yeah.
Okay. I'd also quickly like to
Thank you very much, all.
Yeah, I'd quickly like to add, one of the ways you can also harness some of these opportunities is by developing your skills. So like Sarah said, you can take some free courses online. That is very good, and that can put you on a global pedestal. Another way again is to harness opportunities in research and academia. So in research can take you further than you can imagine. So you can connect with some of these senior water professionals. And like I mentioned in my own presentation, harness opportunities with the Iowa specialist groups. With that, you can have all the networking and collaboration that can also put you on a global pedestal. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do you have any comments, Felipe?
No, I agree perfectly.
Yeah, I think one adding question, because Felipe, you are working at Suez, which is an internationally big company, company, and so you got into Suez from France branch.
Sorry, what was the question?
Because I think Suez is an international company, but you belong to the France part of the Suez, and then you would also have an international project from your place.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, used to
So I
be
think
the
that-
case even more in the past years, because the group was almost twice as big, but now we are a bit more focused in France, but expanding. So a lot of opportunities, a lot of job opportunities in every sector, I will say. Not always easy to find the professionals. Yeah, it was mentioned by Miriam. And be aware also that in the new generation, a lot of young professionals don't want to be managers, which brings kind of a manager's shortage, especially for European countries in the foreign countries where they want to expand. Yeah.
I would also say the opposite, that we're just missing also people that want to design and draw and calculate on all the technologies. So, for example, if you are working in AutoCAD or Plant 3D, you'd also have a huge career ahead of you. We're trying to convert a lot of the industrial engineers at the moment to join to design more of the treatment plants in Sweden and outside Sweden. So, yeah, we need a lot of different skill sets, not only managers.
Yeah, of course. I totally agree. Just giving an example that come into my mind quickly, but yeah.
Okay, next question. I am studying in geography. How can I improve myself to work in this field, which I am really interested in? So, yeah, how we can probably shift the career path a little bit.
I try to provide a direct answer through the chat.
Thank you.
I think, yes, a lot of opportunities for geographers, but of course it's a bit more specific. So within the companies and research institutes that work directly on water or waste or environment, there will be less positions where they will put in the title that this is for a geographer, right? But definitely there are a lot of technical opportunities.
Indeed, learning all this GIS or something would be also a good skill connection.
Yeah.
Okay, another comment. Henry Lamba from Nigeria. I have a background in mechanical engineering with great interest in water resource management with respect to my innovation in the water sector, which is designed to help tackle the water crisis in northern Nigeria, where I live. I need an advice. I think Rosario was also replying. Wait. What to do to have a better understanding of the water sector and how I can build my career to promote good water policies in my country's governance. What do you think, Cynthia?
Okay, please, can you go over the question again?
Yes, the question is what to do to have a better understanding of the water sector and how I can build my career to promote a good water policies in my country's governance.
Okay, I think the first thing you have to know is that the water sector is diverse and anybody can key into and work in the water sector. So as a mechanical engineer, I believe that one of the things you can do is to probably consider another degree in water resource management, maybe hydrology or any other related fields. or you try to pursue certifications that can help you boost your knowledge in some of these policy management and advocacy. I mean, in this part of Nigeria, I understand where you're coming from. So I believe that you can do that. And then you can also maybe collaborate with government agencies so that you can understand some of our policies, you can understand how, you know, they coin out some of the things that they do here. So I think that's the best bet. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? Yes, hello. I think your mic might be far, but if you get close, maybe you can. We hear a little bit, but maybe you can speak louder.
Or maybe you can switch off your camera and just leave the audio.
Or maybe you can stop the camera, as Rosario said, then we might have a better internet connection. Then you can focus on the voice.
Okay. I hope now it's okay, right?
Yes, now we hear you, Ibrahim.
Okay, very good. So I was saying I'm a final student right now in BUK, Nigeria. So which kind of approach or which kind of advice can any one of you SARS give us, like regarding to a software or a course that we can start with at this early stage, apart from what we are learning from the university? So that's my question, sir.
Was it the question to Cynthia?
No, I did not get your question clearly.
I was saying that any additional advice that you can give us as a student, because I'm a student, a final year student studying civil engineering, and I wanted to be part of this water campaign or this international professional water, young water professional. I wanted to be part of the team. So any advice that you can give us as a student to start with, like a particular course that we can be able to register online and start with, or a particular software that we can be able to master at this very, very young age, because I was unable to join the meeting as early as possible because I was having lecture when you.
Okay, if I get your question clearly, you're asking if there's a particular course you can do as a student. Is that what you're asking me?
What the normal curriculum in the university, apart from that, any additional incentive that we can add to what we have been learning in school?
Okay, I think as a student, one of the things you can also do is to build your skills in smart water technologies, such as like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and IoT. Personally, as a student, I have used machine learning and response surface methodology to predict and to optimize process parameters in my research work. So as a student, if you have such skill, it will go a long way in putting you on that skill that you want to be. Again, joining the International Water Association is easy. You can join in, you join various specialist groups, and then there are different courses. Maybe you're interested in water and wastewater management, you're interested in drinking water systems. There are just various courses or various groups under the specialist groups that you can join and learn. Again, you can also connect with other senior water professionals online, and then they can help you channel your career path. I don't know if I've answered your question clearly.
Thank you very much. So, and I also have another question, please. I have another question to ask. Sorry for too much questions from me.
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay, so for example, now you look like here in Nigeria, some part of our curriculum is not yet updated. I hope you are aware of that. So
Yes, I am.
So you are not able to meet the international standard in some aspects in our normal university curriculum. So what should what can I do in order to harness or to meet the actual standard as a water young professional, or as a person trying to be a water professional?
Okay. Personally, I would say keep working on yourself, keep studying. We cannot affect or we cannot change our curricula for now. So what we can do is we can take advantage of online courses. There are free online courses like Coursera. You can check Coursera, you can check edX, and yeah, there are lots of platforms. You can also use YouTube. And then if it's something you're really passionate about, you can learn some of these skills on your own. So with that, again, you can go further for a master's degree program. As a civil engineer, I think you can also work in the water and environmental space. So it's still okay. I think you're still on track.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's one question to Miriam, that you said you could double the amount of people working in the water sector. I think you mentioned that in the presentation. If you don't look at the fresh graduates, can you elaborate or explain that again?
Yeah, but I think so. One thing is to get into the sector, and the other thing is once people are in, we are lacking the people. So one thing is to make sure that we have enough skilled and experienced, both. I mean, as Felipe said, we need both project managers, but we also need design engineers, we need machinery engineers. And for now, I'm talking about more treatment plant design, but there is obviously more gaps along the whole water chain. But the biggest problem, both nationally in Sweden, but also globally, is to make sure that the graduates get clear career steps in order to be someone that the companies wants to hire. It's a challenge. But yes, so just the example I was giving is that I could double my department, but I don't need newly graduates. So it's the hen and the egg kind of problem. But to my defense, I did hire 2 newly graduates this year to combine. But it's more challenging to sell them also to the clients because they need someone who can manage the task. So it's something we need to take care of in the whole sector. It's the sad truth.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, maybe I have another question. You all have worked in several different departments and did a lot of different internships, and still you ended up working in the water sector. What kind of departments or tasks would you say are necessary right now, or what do you need that is also coming from, let's say, from a construction side that you've learned there? So in case I or somebody else can't take the direct path and getting into the water management or water management company, which other companies should we consider and getting growing our skills in other fields, if you get what I mean?
I mean, a simple answer to that. So for example, if you want to be a project manager, you could be starting your career as a project manager of anything. Or if you're an AutoCAD drawer, you could AutoCAD draw roads And then you start to get interested in pumping station, and then all of a sudden you're inside the water sector. So I think it's just, sadly, the truth is that you look at the companies that are available in your countries, which type of positions are open, and which one of them are mostly relevant to what you want to do, but also what you can do. And then you start from there. And then also like apply for jobs. I cannot, like, it sounds very fancy once you have a job and a career, but I applied for minimum 50 different jobs that I never got. And still 2 years ago, I applied for jobs that people didn't even reply. So even if you're 15 years inside your career, it still happens. So be persistent.
Okay, thank you very much. That motivates a lot.
I don't know if it did, but that was the purpose at least.
I thought the Felipe's slide or the talk about this different field was also maybe helpful for us, because he was mentioning either technical support or research and innovation and project management or team management. And if you are developing any of these skills, maybe you can anyway end up in the water sector. But yeah, is there any questions? All right. Then it's time to close up this webinar. Thank you so much again for all 4 speakers. That was really inspiring. And then I personally also got much relatable feeling and much more motivated. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
And thank you for the questions.
Thank you.
Participants.
Bye.
See you for the future event, maybe.